Thank you. My name is Bill Tong. I'm here to tell you how my family's story represented our version of the American dream, whose legacy faces destruction by the eminent domain seizure by my alma mater, NEIU. My family has lived and worked in this neighborhood since 1947. I am the American-born son, grandson, and great-grandson of Chinese immigrants. My great-grandfather worked in a Chinese restaurant in the South Loop from 1906 to 1924, when my grandfather, Tan Sun Tong, arrived from China. At that time in history, there was a law called the Chinese Exclusion Act, which legally prevented them from ever becoming citizens. My grandfather got drafted in the U.S. Army in World War II in 1941. Being literate in Chinese and English, Grandpa soon realized that being a GI provided him a path to citizenship that was not otherwise possible. It allowed him to bring his family over from China after a 14-year separation. It allowed him to open and run his own business. In 1947, at 3336 West Bryn Mawr, Grandpa, Grandma, my mother, my father, Jerry Tong, and my Aunt Yolanda bought and operated the Lee, a Chinese takeout restaurant. They commuted 20 miles every day from Chinatown, worked 10 and 11-hour days, 363 days a year for 7 long years, which allowed them to build a new and larger restaurant at 3411 West Bryn Mawr. And this is what the university wants to take. It was called Tong's Tea Garden. My father had just gotten back from serving the U.S. Army in Korea to staff the restaurant. By living in the second-floor apartment above the restaurant, my family avoided the problem of housing discrimination and the long commute. In 1970, my family spent a fortune remodeling and adding a dining room to Tong's Tea Garden. My younger sisters and I grew up working there. In 1984, my dad retired early, rented out the restaurant, and that provided him the bulk of his retirement income. If our property is seized by eminent domain to be destroyed by the wrecking ball, the tradition that a Chinese son must preserve his father's accomplishments for future generations will also be destroyed.
You're at 2 minutes.
This eminent domain action is un-American and must be stopped. Thank you.
The next speaker is Vicki Pierre.